My mother called me just once for help, and my wife said, "She's your mother, not mine." At that moment, I didn't know that those words would become the final chapter of my 11-year marriage. My name is Wesley Watson. I'm 53 years old. My mother, Rebecca, is 82. For 53 years, she had shown up for me every single time. But at 7:42 that Wednesday morning, her voice was different. "Wesley, my chest feels strange, and my left arm is going numb." I didn't hesitate. "Mom, I'm coming." My truck was in the shop, so I asked my wife, Eve, if I could take her car. She came downstairs, looked at me, and said, "Call an ambulance. I can't go today." I stared at her. "Eve, my mother is sick." She crossed her arms. "She's your mother, Wesley, not mine. Figure it out." I stood there in silence. Then I called my neighbor, Clinton. "Give me 4 minutes, Wes." He arrived in less than 4. We rushed Mom to the hospital. The doctor told me she'd suffered a mild cardiac event. She was stable, but they needed to keep her under observation. I spent nearly 3 hours sitting in that hospital waiting room. And Eve? Not one phone call. Not even a text asking if my mother was alive. That afternoon, Mom held my hand. "Eve didn't come?" I swallowed. She had dinner plans. Mom said nothing. She simply looked out the window. And in her eyes, I saw something I had never seen before. Not anger, a decision. The next morning, she looked at me and said, "Wesley Andrew Watson." My full name. I knew immediately this was serious. "I need to call Paul Logan." Paul was the attorney who had handled my father's estate and Mom's will years earlier. She called him from her hospital bed. "Paul, I need to change my will. Today." He arrived at 2 p.m. I sat quietly in the corner while they talked. 47 minutes later, Paul closed his briefcase. And everything changed. Mom had rewritten her will. The house, the investments, the jewelry, my father's beloved 1967 Mustang. Everything. And Eve's name? Not once. I looked at Mom. "You're doing this for me?" She didn't even look up. "No, Wesley. I'm doing it for myself. I've earned the right to decide where my life's work goes." The next day, I brought Mom home. While I made her tea, she reached across the kitchen table and held my hand. "Wesley, don't think about the money. Think about your life." I looked at her. She continued, "You've been standing alone for a very long time, baby." Then she said the words that broke something open inside me. "A man who always shows up for everyone else deserves someone who shows up for him." I knew exactly what she meant. When I got home, Eve was waiting. She had dozens of missed calls on her phone. "Wesley, did she change the will?" "Yes." Her face collapsed. "Please talk to her. Tell her it was a misunderstanding. I was going to come." I looked at her. "You went to dinner while my mother was lying in a hospital bed fighting for her heart." She had nothing to say. I picked up my keys. "I'm going back to my mother." As I opened the door, I looked back one final time. Eve was standing there, holding her phone. My mother's name was glowing on the screen. I said quietly, "You should probably answer that." Then I closed the door. That was the moment I finally understood something. I hadn't been married for 11 years. I had been enduring for 11 years. And there is a difference. Sometimes life doesn't give you anger. Sometimes it gives you something much more powerful. Clarity.